What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. And in this particular video, y'all, I might as well go on and do it. I may not upload it until around the time the episode airs, which is Love and Hip Hop New York, season 6, episode 2. And shout out to I Am Natasha, my YouTube cousin here. Check her out. She's already had a review out. She sent me, as she said, a lovely Christmas present from Picking Nigga. She had gotten. She sent me the link, the other day, Saturday, that the episode was already up. So I figured, well, if I have time or bored, whatever, I will do it beforehand, but still probably just upload it tomorrow and just do Black Ink Crew tomorrow. I did a couple of makeup reviews. The only one I haven't done is Black Love. Y'all just ain't gonna get season 2 review. Episode 2 review. Y'all gonna get season 3 review. But that's an awesome show, too. I may also start doing the Marriage at First Sight, whatever the hell that is. That's an interesting show as well. But anyways, y'all, shout out to my YouTube family. My YouTube family, subscribe below, like and share this video. I also wanted to talk about the stuff because the end, when y'all see this shit, and also I don't know if I want to talk about the allegedly or make that a separate video because we don't know yet. That's still like in the horizon. I haven't seen this much yet, but I may want to talk about it because I already did the part where Tara might be pregnant with Peter Gunz' child. Again, pregnant and Maya by Peter Pigpen's Gunz. And we're about to get this thing. So, here's the thing. We're going to talk about first in particular care, whatever. Now, this is the aftermath after the Cypher Gone from Hell goes wrong. And Riley is meeting up with Mo and Lex, whatever. We're just going to get that out of the way. She started her new manager shit. She up there. Was meeting with them, and when she tries to kiss, Mo's trying to give her a hug, she just like, or really not trying to brush her off. She's actually more cool with Lexi anyway, or knew her past and whatever anyway. So she is letting me know like that stuff was uncool, it was uncalled for. How Mo's just trying to justify her actions, whatever. And also Mo's main one talking like, she even Laura just bluntly said to Lexi, kind of tuning out Mo, like, bitch, I do not hear you, okay? I do not see you. I do not hear you. And so she, Mo, of course, feels some type of way, whatever, right? And she's just like, like, you haven't been doing nothing for us and whatever, woo, woo, woo. But Riley's like, okay, y'all, still, like, you think I'm supposed to do all this shit for you and watch her represent, like, basically, she look at, I think, as Mo is like a gnat, just a gnat, whatever. And she talking to Lexi, she bluntly is basically saying, like, Lex, you need to get rid of this gnat. We need to spray her down, get some with some vinegar so she can go the fuck on, and you work on your own career because she's just gonna tie you down. And of course, Mo is in the confessionals like, this is why, people, they always try to turn us against each other, and obviously Riley's trying to turn against each other. But it could be the way that they're saying is that Lexi actually can go solo, and Mo is the hothead that is not actually needed, and that's probably why they also went through all these managers as well, So that's what we're starting to get here. Then Mo decides to leave, and then Rob was still talking. Lexi's like, well, I feel, she's cool, whatever that bar, she may feel some way. You don't talk to her, whatever. But she was talking to her, like, trying to get Riley at least to understand, like, like, I guess how Mo is or whatever. And, she might be hot-headed, but maybe she's an understandable person. And, she's like, maybe she feels some way because you call me more and you call her. Sometimes you don't call her. And then here go Mo coming back to him. See, this proves this is not you're not loyal stuff, blah, 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 blah. Even still talking to her. So, Riley was still saying bye. The fact that Mo came in, bye. And then Lexi ends up leaving. So, it's down them for a second. What else in this episode? Because we had a couple things going on. It wasn't that much in the episode. It's the introduction of Carly B. Also, I did a reaction video with her versus Castains, or Castains versus her, really, because I'm like, what the hell? And so, let's get into the Remy Ma and Papoose thing playing the wedding. Congrats to Remy Ma And Papoose, they did get married this past week. So awesome. I seen the clip where her son was actually, where Rimron's, her son slash Papoose, stepson is, he was walking his mom down the aisle. That was awesome. And her dress was beautiful. Why does it sound like I said breast? Okay. Time for me to go to bed. But anyway, thank you and good night. I'm just playing. So, anyways, y'all. They're going to plan the wedding, and then she's trying to indirectly ask Ra Ali, for help. She went, I guess she was supposed to meet her for shopping. Ra Ali didn't show up. Ra didn't show up until damn near 2 hours later, and she indirectly wanted Ra Ali to help her with the wedding. She ends up talking to Papoose later on about meeting with trying to do, talking about Ra Ali. Papoose already feels some type of way about, he's just kind of wishy-washy about who Remy Ma chooses to be around. And Remy Ma was like, well, I hope you're not that way because she wasn't there, when I was incarcerated. And he was like, but you have to be careful who you're around and stuff like that. Basically, it's like, I ain't got time for you to catch a case again. Fucking your parole. You being in jail for 30 damn years for throwing hands on the bitch because, or something. Like, or she's, fucked up your weave or some shit. I ain't got time for that shit. So, she's just like, she feels okay, and she's like, no need to worry. She ain't got no worries. And then there was another scene that they were talking about, like, recently Papoose and her were also talking, I think, around the same time, like, them trying to have a meeting. Papoose has an 18-year-old daughter that him and Remy used to be close to. And of course, once she went to jail for 6-something years, I think the bond kind of forced her to rap because she couldn't be physically there because, all the time to help raise. I forgot, what was her name? Jade? And so she sat there and, talking to Papoose about her, where it's like, realize she need to talk because, Jade has just been scrapping. They need to talk because they don't want her to fall into the wrong hands of the streets or anything there Remy would, what Remy went through and stuff, whatever, right? So they had a talk, and the son, he got his hoodie on the table. They just kind of brushed it off. And she, even down the conversation where the, thing is, why you want to come to my room, mom, blah, blah, woo, woo. And then here's Papoose. And the girl, she literally had a left eye swoon. The girl, Jade, the child was talking about she protected herself. And I'm like, whoa, maybe she was jumped because she protected herself, but not enough where they didn't get that damn eye. Okay? So she been steadily just doing these fights and keep scrapping, whatever. And then, they kind of tried to change the subject, whatever. Because, it turns out also these damn kids decided to block both Remy and Papoose off so they can't follow them on Instagram. Shit, not only would they damn be blocked, I found some way to block that. Well, I mean, with Jay's, 18, but I don't know how old, I forgot Remy's son is. I was thinking this earlier teens. But they're still teens, but you know what I mean. So, they asked about they want to participate and be in the wedding, and they want Jade, I think, to be a walker, Remy down the aisle. Now, also, we're bringing up especially kids. Rich, they have a scene slow motion where he said he needs to get together with one lady that's very young lady important in his life, and then they show slow motion. Then all of a sudden, we see another scene that Rich had, his daughter, I think, named Ashley, 17 years old, was supposed to be staying with him a couple weeks. And because he's like, after he broke up with Moniece, whatever, he, is just trying to get himself together. Also make sure he gets to check on this show, too. That she has her, they're talking, whatever, and she basically is like, they're coming ground rules. He's talking about she need to take out trash, don't leave her makeup and everything, blah, blah, blah. And everything, like, I'm like, you're giving the same rules as if she was one of the female. Okay, never mind. But if she let me know, okay, Dad, you gotta stop your drinking while I'm here and don't be bringing basically some thoughts into the house. And then they were talking about, it ended up being a conversation talking about being boys or she had some boyfriend or liking a boy, whatever. And he was like, save it from boys. She was like, I don't know no boys up here. So then all of a sudden, over the conversation unravels. He asks her, like, well, have you ever had sex with a boy? Are you a virgin or something like that? Now, basically, are you a virgin? And when she did the laugh, I already knew, like, ooh, well, that sort of answers the question. Because she would have been like, Dad, I'm a virgin. She's just like, well, wow, I was down there. I think she lives in Memphis. Her mom lives in Memphis, whatever. And she was like, no, I'm not a virgin. But it only happened one time. Okay, sweetie. I'm just saying, you know. I don't know why I'm so quiet right about now. Yeah, if y'all like listening, not paying attention, quiet, whatever. But I'm just saying, if it was really one time, I know she didn't say this. She didn't say like this, like, well, I realized I didn't like it, so I ain't doing no more till I get married or something like that. I don't know, just make it seem like the child just wants to tell her because it's her daddy. Like, I want to give the truth, but I don't want to let him know how many times me and such been getting in or something. And it turned out her mom don't even know about this. Okay, so, you know, they just have a talk, whatever. He just wants to make sure that he's there for her and stuff and don't want her. He know if she want to ask questions about how to know about this or who's playing him. And of course, he would know. He don't want his daughter to end up with a dude like him, or, you know, the president of the Creep and the co-founder of the Creep Squad. So, he's like, I'm here for you. Come to me. Come to your daddy, and I will tell you everything. I will give you all the encyclopedias of the Creep Squad to know what to look out for. You know I'm there. So he ends up later on talking to her mother. She comes up there, and I think her name is Miracle. She's in missionary work. She wants to go in the DR and do mission work for 2 years. And she's trying to ask Rich to take her for 2 years, right? And he like, okay, I was only going to tell her, let her know butter on game, what her daughter's been doing that she didn't know about. Okay? And she first, when he told her that, and she let him know information, he like, huh? I thought it was a couple weeks. But then he kind of in the end figured like, okay, you know, okay. And she's like, oh, 2 years. And I guess she like, for the most of the time, since she's been taking care of Ashley all these years, 2 years should be not nothing. And so he ends up saying that she experienced and already had sex with. And she like, huh? Would you tell her she's gonna get pregnant? If you sneeze wrong, she's gonna get all this STDs and her darn cooch is gonna look like a molded jelly or whatever. I just was saying, you know, just all this stuff and whatever. And, you know, you work more person also, you get, you know, you start getting illnesses. You look like you got cockroaches on your legs and everything else, whatever. Did you tell her that, she, you know, we gonna hide her in the closet and hide her and she don't come out until she's at least 25 years old and she get pregnant, her life is over, blah, 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 blah. And even Rich was like, oh, okay. And then he just said she only experienced it one time. Okay. So, experience and stuff like that. But then he pointed out, interesting, because she first was, you know, kind of, Miss Miracle was kind of like thinking about maybe not allowing Ashley to stay up there with her dad, you know. And then Rich did point out, which was kind of interesting, but it's the truth. He was like, well, you know, she did do that on your watch. She was down there. She wasn't up here. So, so she found some way to go to that. So, who else? Now, we got Rich out the way. Like I said, he's doing daddy duties, whatever. And we already did the Lex Riley away and the Ribbon Wall, whatever. And we got the Carly B and the DJ Self situation, whatever. Let me cut this off and put this back on. So anyways, we get introduced to Carly B. And she just be like, yeah, whatever, right? And, oh gosh, darn it, I don't need to do that no more. But, you know, DJ Self is, again, she's in the strip club, and she basically like, you know, what you doing? You here to see me? Took my hand, you know, we're gonna be our people. And she been nosing DJ Self and acting, you know, like he wants to be by himself more instead of like asking her to take him home. With other words, we find out later on that's code for taking him to a hotel instead of the home, you know, because he believes in not taking girls home, especially since he been going with a girl about a year, or at least his main chick, or she don't know she's main chick, she thinking that she's the only chick or whatever. So she just want to know, she just sick and tired of DJ Self lying to me. She knows that he's distant or whatever, he got somebody else, and he's like, you got somebody else, whatever. But like I said, her dude is doing a 2-year whatever. We find out that's an interview too, but she's like in jail, but she's still like this. She just, you know, doing her own thing, but she only with DJ Self, or he's the main side dude, whatever, or until my man gets out type of thing, or whatever changes. But she still wants him to tell the truth. Are you lying to me? Woo, 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 whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, like I said, Charlie B wants to be an artist. She doesn't want to dance anymore. She wants DJ Self to help her I guess he supposed to help her career, whatever, woo woo, but they're also messing around. Now, we seen another scene later on that Kylie B is FaceTime coincident while his girl is at the house. And, yeah, cause you know, have Cardi B, like I said, when you're hearing her talk, she just was like, I've been dancing for such and such time, and I'm Cardi B, and woo woo, and that blah. Then she make like they show, like when she was, like, somebody delete her Instagram message, and people I know her for making all these funny videos on Instagram. And, you know, and she's Cardi B, I'm not going to all nails and big titties and blah blah, and I got no nails, blah blah blah. Just, ooh, I need to stop doing that. It's not working for me. So, he, like I said, it's FaceTime. He Cardi B, even that voice is just like, it's one of a kind. I'll say it that much. And then, you know, here comes this girl coming downstairs, and here's the fuck up right there. Even though he claimed he don't have no girls in the house other than her. When she's asking whose ring is this in the bathroom, because he lied to say, I forgot, he got on FaceTime, and then this girl came out, because she's like, hey, what you doing down there? I forgot what Cardi B said. I just remembered the tone of her voice, okay, which is one of a kind. I'm going to call her Cardi B, also known as one of a kind voice. And so, anyway, y'all, here comes this girl coming down, you know, thing like, who's this ring? And he keeps saying, I don't know. But in confessionals, I guess he wants to pull the lie off. He gonna tell his girl at the moment. I forgot what that lady's name is. Girl at the moment. Because he keep telling the confessionals, I'm gonna lose my girl over the cleaning lady. And he's like, yeah, I do my boo-boo, but I take the girls to the hotels, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And this man, but I don't know what I'm gonna do, and blah, blah, or something like that, whatever, right? But then I'm thinking like this. So when she came to the ring, gave it about him about the ring thing, he keeps saying, I don't know. But then he say confessionals, oh yeah, it's cleaning lady. So you're gonna throw it on cleaning lady. So when she come at the cleaning lady, be like, why do you leave your ring room? Would you scrubbing the sink with Ajax? What the hell is going on here? Baking soda? What the hell was going on there, whatever? But she's like, I'm sick of you lying to me, blah, 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 woo, woo. He trying to claim, like, that's not true, whatever. I don't know who ring it is. But then at the same time, if you don't know who ring it is, either somebody has snuck into your house, or either you just letting random people in your house and they just leaving stuff, just set your ass up. I don't know, okay? Or somebody's car mysteriously broke down, and it was some girl who had to go upstairs and say, can I use your bathroom before I call and wait for Uber or my family member to come get me, and somehow took the ring off and went upstairs to wash their hands. Okay, next. So we got that storyline going on, okay? The love triangle square. And now, here we go with more bullshit and more bullshit and more bullshit. The Amina / Peter Gunz Pigpen / Terror saga. Now, again, we have this whole thing where Amina has this instinct about that. I don't know all the times, but she decides to basically, like, meet up with Amina, met up with her, and they had to do in slow motion Tara doing squats with this equipment like outside. Didn't she used to have a trainer who used to be Yandy's cousin? What happened to that? Not to say, you know, you don't need a trainer all the time you form. I'm just saying now something she's doing by herself, whatever, right? What happened to being like an artist consultant? Where'd that go? But okay. So, Amina wants to know, like, what is going on. You know, like, is he over there with you? And she's like, no, and blah, blah, blah. You know how Tara always wants to say, well, you wanted the family, you wanted the mess man the family, so here's what you got, whatever. And Peter saying one thing, and, you know, it's the same thing. I don't have to fucking repeat, because it's the same darn thing they've been saying since season 1 when they got, or not season 1, but the first season that they got this storyline going. And Amina is just basically trying to ask, like, what is going on, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like, he's saying he's not there, but I'm thinking he's there with you. And, you know, Tara, you know, like, it's always the fence, like, you mess with him and his family. Okay, we realize now that on paper, even though he was with Tara first, on paper, you're considered the hoe. You're considered a sidelight home. You're considered a mistress or whatever. I'm saying on paper because even though she's been with this man 13 years and still has that on and off getting breakup or been like on and off hookup type of situation, Amina still has more pull because she is still married to Peter. Okay? So, even though she's been with him the longest, whatever, it's still a thing is he still married his side formerly known as side chick, and now he's married to her, and now technically you're having an affair with her husband, and still is. So that is not nothing to personally brag about because you were with him, let me remember, for 13 goddamn years, and then he still didn't marry your dumb ass, and you continue to give him coochie, and you brag about keep fucking him. You don't brag about he's sitting here and bought your new car. You don't brag about the fact, I'm just saying, you at least gonna be, bringing up all the way. Like I said, bragging about how much coochie, he obviously he has enough dick to give to half New York and New Orleans and wherever other places he could win at. So that is nothing to brag about because he keeps giving, I can fuck him as many times I want to. Oh, so fucking what? That is not something to brag about. I'm sorry. Sex get old after someone. I don't care how good the dick is, whatever. And the fact is that she continues to go back and forth and fuck him, whether it's some type of revenge, retaliation. In the end, like I said, that makes you more fucked up because you know what the hell is going on. You still fall for the damn bullshit. And like I said, he ain't sitting till he about to marry, divorce Amina and get married to Tara. And then we end, so if he married her now, after sitting here and married, Amina was able to get the ring or get at least on paper that she married to his ass after a year. Okay, without children. With a guitar and playing the piano for crying out loud. You've been with this man and had 2 kids by him, every damn thing else. Like I said, she has still more leverage because of just being married to him, period. She can sit here and say, I've been with him 13 years and you broke the family. But on record, on paper, unfortunately, broad, it is saying different. It is saying different. Morally, like I said, but it's like at the same time, it's like it's got the point, like, why do you keep messing with a man and you realize that he just goes by his word. His word is ain't bond. His word ain't about shit. Okay, did y'all forget to look at the previous seasons and see his actions? And Tara has admitted this is not the first time to sabotage me and try to warn him that he'd been fucking with barrel females before she even got with, she even got with Tara, which indirectly intrigued because she want to know how much pull he got. And all he does is wear white beaters and wear the same two pairs of True Religion jeans on and off again. But yet he keep pulling all these females. So she was intrigued by it. Dick must have been spectacular and must sing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo off the Godmother for Cinderella and Disney movie and shit because he still was able to like pull off all these females and with her whatever. Like I said, eventually Peter Gunz people, you gonna have to start taking Epsom salt baths for that damn back, or have females ride your ass all the goddamn time because your dick game can only run so goddamn long, bro. Okay. So, anyways, like I said, it's back and forth, and then here's Tara. You still keep trying to be the man because it got back and forth with the argument, woo back again, and then here, Tara telling me you still trying to be man and was in love with me or whatever because here go Mina like, well, he's supposedly loving you and still blah blah blah, but technically he's in love with Tara maybe because in love, and I had to say permission because of the loyalty thing or whatever. But technically, he's not in love with no damn body because he can't sing respect. Now, it'd be different if he's like, I want an open relationship, and Tara was okay with that, and whoever else followed, whatever. But it's not one of those things. He wants an open-minded thing. He's very irresponsible. He thinks that his dick is invincible to diseases, drama, and more babies. But somehow he doesn't think that's, he's like Puff Daddy. I thought I told him we don't stop. We see that shit. But ain't you about to be on your night child? Allegedly. Let's get the parentheses in. Allegedly. So, anyways, y'all. They basically talked back for me. It's just, like I said, it was like, I'm still trying to find because I'm still in love with him. It's just like, would y'all be in love so much if he didn't have sex with y'all till at least a year or more? Or a year or more of not having sex, y'all staying, or at least 6 months afterwards to a year later, then y'all have sex later. Because, what does he have to offer? Conversation, a song, you can play drums well. lesson learned. Lesson, I hope it's a lesson learned for whatever. Sad. So it's another scene. I noticed, I don't know if they're gonna have Peter Gunz and Rich like later on the episodes together. Were they really last season? Was Rich and Peter really too much involved with each other last season? Because I know it was that fallout with Erica. No, they were, because Amina was having that baby and they were somewhat semi-cool again, I guess. But, no, it was season 4 last, because her Erica's sin that fell out last season. But, I wonder, is Peter and Rich going to be around each other again? But anyways, like I said, it was pretty much a decent episode, but it wasn't too much in there. Sorry I didn't go through everything, y'all. But, here's the last part I really want to discuss. Now, Tara decides to bring Amina over and Peter Gunz to get the last straw for the same thing they've been finding out, to find out who's telling the truth, what is what, and what is the misleading or what fuckery that Peter's saying. So she wants to get the final straw. She bribes Peter, or Peter thinking he's making a sandwich for him, and she like knows for the boys, and she's just like, she's tired of her emotions being played with. Like, bitch, please. We just seen you fucking him on the bed without a headboard. Not exactly, but I mean, I'm just saying. And, I mean, there was a couch in there, right? Well, maybe she's still moving stuff in. But okay. So, she is trying to ask him what is going on. You're saying that you're not with Amina, you're not on good terms, blah, blah. I want to know what's going on. So here go Peter, Pigpen, still again. When she's asking him a flat-out general question, what is the relationship between y'all? Well, basically, I'm saying this, yeah, I'll be on the couch, but she don't seem to know that we're not. She's like, it's y'all together. Well, I don't think she knows of this and that. We're not on good terms, blah, blah, blah. And then he said in the confessionals, Tara's a willing participant. Yes, she is. And still in denial, because, I mean, part of her does brag that she can still keep fucking Peter while he's with me or whatever, just to prove a point. But it's like a proven point that you are not as strong as you think you is, and actually in the end you make yourself just as stupid or more dumber than her. Well, actually they tied to a certain extent, but you know what I mean. So and then I think he said like he was with her because the big blah blah or something like that, whatever. So eventually she said that she was going to invite Amina over. And then her stomach, I don't know, it looked like a little pooch, because some people were saying like it did look like she was pregnant last scene, or I mean in that scene or whatever. And she could be, who knows. But so she invites Amina over to get to the last straw and find out what's going on. She brings Amina so they can get to the final straw about what's going on. Here, Tara's asking, I think, Amina, like, what is it true that you're with her, they're not together, and blah, 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 you're with me. So Amina's like trying to explain, aren't we still together? Even though bad church, well, here go Peter Pigpen. Well, is that what you think? That's what you think? We go, yes, sir. I don't know. Huh? Is that, are you sure that sandwich ain't for me? And, you know, it's just, it's the same trickery, and they fall for the shit, and technically end up getting mad at each other. So, anyways, he basically like, well, that's what you think. He's like, well, I do something, but she's like, we're still together. What is you talking about? And then Tara's like, well, aren't you saying that you're not together with her no more, and blah, 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 and she's a mistake, blah, blah. You know, like I said, it's the same back and forth stuff. He's like, well, blah, blah, and blah, 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 blah. And then, Amina confessionals, it's basically like almost putting the blame, it's sounding like, on Tara. Like, this bitch wants to fuck up my marriage, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it takes two to tangle, but the minute you allowed that it was okay and you knew about it for her to move in the same place as y'all and knowing their history and stuff, whatever, and how he even did her through the whole fucking damn pregnancy and with no disregard, and still there's been a disconnect and continues to disrespect her, whether it got something to do with her or not, it's like she don't seem no worth, and she should have stayed there in Germany with her family, okay, and got the fuck on, okay. And it's like, the baby's probably one now, walking around. She like, what the hell is going on and shit? Because she always had that look. Remember the baby, you know, Mina and Peter Gunz baby always had that look like this is some bullshit every time she was ever seen. Like, what the hell is this bullshit? That's all the look she gave. Like, she says you know, people be, you know, some people be underestimating these little kids and babies and stuff like that. They be having the business every time. She didn't smile enough. She didn't be like, even when she see her today, like, what? Man, what bullshit is you on today? That's all I see. Just on her face. Somebody give me my rat on my bottle, please. That's what the look she gave me. So all of a sudden they're going back and forth again, and then here me was like, I'm fed up with this and blah blah blah. So she confessional. So then she started, because you know sometimes the voice kind of sound like little Larry off of Three Stooges and shit. You know, the lips get pretty in. You know, but she was just like, I'm fed up with this. I think that's what she started to say. You think you're strong back, dependent woman, and you always going back to Peter and all this stuff, woo 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 and all this stuff, right? And then, you know, she going back to Peter, like, and because, you know, that's when Tara know that he was saying, like, she was you know, that he had told Tara that she's a mistake and everything, and it was a mistake that went too far and all this other stuff. And me was just tired, like, the mistake that went too far, blah 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 blah. Next minute I know because I thought they were going to black out the smack. She smacked him, you know, for a second. That some of the Peter Pigpen that kind of came off him, she smacked him into almost like, well, damn, yeah, I am married for a second. He kind of almost respected the fact that he was married for 2 seconds because he had that look of shock. And then she threw the piece of bread, I think, at him too. Like, well, there goes that nice piece of bread for lunch for the kids. And so she walks out, and then she says at the end, y'all, and I'm pregnant. Dumbasses, what? Damn it. That is not something to brag about and stuff. Was she gonna pull another damn EBT test out of damn brawn shit afterwards? I was just fucking like, this is nothing to brag about. Y'all all need to go to the nearest clinic and get some shit checked out. They got self-kits or whatever. And all y'all need individual therapy. Not couples therapy, individual therapy. Because this is some bullshit, okay? Where is Miss Anna and Vanna? Get them on the show separate, not fucking together. Because they all need a Love and Hip Hop. All need their own fucking damn special. At least about 5 part, their own like spin-offs of Diana Fix My Life specials, and at least have 5 episodes to themselves, not together, because we all know what the hell when Side goes on the show and his child's mom, you know, one of his children's mother, how the fuck that went. But we didn't know. No, that's all I have to say. This is just complete dumbness or whatever. And Peter Pigtail probably wears shades and got the fuck going out of there. Like, this is just a continual ass fuckery at its best, and it just continues to get worse. This is embarrassment for them. It's embarrassment for the children. It's embarrassment for if Amina does have this child, because allegedly, supposedly she had abortion, whatever, allegedly. Or terrorist preparation, but the children are already here, and the rest of the clan of kids that Peter got are scattered across America, and maybe possibly the ones he might have, because who's to say that he may not have no more. I cannot say enough that this is just, for this to be a storyline. Can y'all do something called Get a Clue, some moral, some respect, is that can be found for anyone, not just with these ladies. Peter Pigpen thinks his purpose to be a fucking mule. Well, I don't know the first time I was, but remember, you know, to be moved to fucking keep mating and keep making all these babies. That is not your only purpose in life, bro. If you need to do all that, maybe he need to get a job as go on the sperm clinic and start skiing in there and make some more kids, whatever. At least make some money off of that shit, whatever, because all he doing is making all these damn babies and shit anyway. Might ski in the cup. Bubba. I can't. Okay. Hugs and love. Yeah, pleasant night, pleasant week, pleasant night, and I'll see the next fuckery of this series as the fuckery turns. Good night, y'all.